Thank you. I really appreciate it. It's been a journey. It's just part of the NBA career. I'm happy, really excited. Came as a surprise to me. Um, but it's pay forward to, all the guys that, really won this war before me. Happened to be one of my teammates. Lou Williams, he was one of my teammates as a Los Angeles Laker. Really talked to me a lot while I was there as a young kid, going through that transition of moving to the bench and stuff like that. Jamal Crawford, all those guys that done it before me, J.R. Smith, all those guys, two of them were my teammates. So learning from them and going through that process of, really accepting this role, put me in this place today. So I really want to thank them on behalf of, myself, my family and everything. And the Utah Jazz organization, letting me be myself, really accepting me. Coach put me in positions to, be great as well as my teammates. So this is awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordan. I'll turn it over to Madeline now for a question and answer session.
All right. So if anyone has a question, please go ahead and raise your hand and we'll go ahead and get started. Looks like the first question we have is from Tony Jones, The Athletic. Tony?
Hey, Jordan, congratulations.
I appreciate it, T.
This has been such a breakout season for you. What's been the favorite part, if you have like a favorite part of this season for you? What's been the favorite part of the season for you, and how's it affected you, on and off the court?
Winning. This is my first time really being on a winning team and having a, piece of it, and having a role in it. I went to the finals with, Bron and that Cleveland team. But I was still young, working, trying to get to this point to, where I really understand the game and, stuff like that. I still have a lot of room to grow, but, the biggest thing for me is it's just been winning. And this team is just amazing. How we bond together. I know it sounds kind of cliche that we always, talk about it and kind of put it out there. But, having the teammates, coach and staff, I feel like you don't really get this opportunity to have once or twice ever. I think I've had it, a little in Cleveland, where we were kind of, a family and we kind of done a lot of stuff together. But here in Utah with this organization, this team, it's definitely a different feel. I know that, next man got my back. And I think I've said it, but these guys, I've been so open with them and transparent. They almost feel like family. So the winning and, building this relationship with my teammates and everybody here with this organization, it's been, those are the biggest highlights for me throughout this season. And, hopefully we come to, what we want to get done in this playoffs, and that's win a championship and compete for a championship. That would be the biggest highlight of, my year, and especially after a tough year, last year. So, this is amazing.
All right, next up, Ben Anderson, KSLSports.com.
Jordan, I know you kind of try and take it one day at a time, and you've talked about that, but you've also talked about how important Manu Ginobili is, and JR and Lou and Jamal Crawford, these guys. What's it mean to you now that you are a part of that legacy and your name belongs with those guys?
It means a lot. Growing up watching Manu, said it before, he's one guy that I really, watched growing up, and, he really made this role really cool to me. Wanting to be like Manu, taking moves and stuff like that. I feel like that was a big part. And then, having a teammate like JR, Lou Will, And then even just having conversations with Jamal, it's just kind of something they all kind of passed down to me. I remember Lou was big on me in LA, is slowing down, and with life and everything, just giving me like so much knowledge that I didn't really wasn't able to accept when I was a young player in the NBA. And I kind of would just be like, yeah, you just talking old head. But all the stuff he told me, really, I really took it into account as I got older, and really kind of flashed back and remember a lot what he's told me. So it's definitely an amazing achievement, and something that I'm gonna embrace today. Like you said, I'm gonna live in the moment, but I know we got bigger things ahead, and I want to get something else done and bring a gold ball home for sure.
Next up, Sarah Todd, Deseret News.
Jordan, how meaningful was it that Joe is the one that presented you the award? And I mean, he was so happy for you to win it, despite also being in the running for the same award.
Right. I mean, that's amazing. Him being probably I would say he's up there being one of my closest teammates. We've sat in locker rooms where it's just been me and him, and I've had conversations with my personal life and stuff like that. And he sits across from me on the plane, and we hang out, we drink beers together. We should come out with a beer company soon. How many beers we drink on our off days. But it's just an amazing thing for him, because he's actually later in his career accepted the role of coming off the bench, and doing that, knowing that he's a starter and a big time player in this league, and affects the game in so many ways. And him making that sacrifice late in his career, coming off the bench, it's helped me a lot. Going out there, not having to fight all the pressures and everything by myself. So him presenting me that award was amazing. Like I said, he's probably one of my closest teammates, a guy that I'll never lose contact with. I might buy one of his houses in Australia or something, so I could just post up on the beach with him after drink a few brews.
All right, next we have Thurl Bailey, Jazz TV.
JC, congratulations, man. And let me say how ecstatic I am to see that you won this award. It may have been a surprise to you, but in my mind, nobody else's names, maybe other than Joe in the conversation. My question to you is, from the perspective of someone who played that role himself, is you talk about old heads. Back in my day, when you were asked to play that role, there was a perception that it was a downgrade, right? Because you made a name for yourself in this league, and there may be other guys who were asked to do it and decided they weren't going to do it because a starter maybe gets more accolades, maybe is seen more. Talk about all-star game. So you talked about embracing the role. Can you give us kind of your perspective as to what your process was? You said you talked to all these guys who won the award. What was your thought process in embracing this role? Because in my eyes, on other teams, you could be a starter. And so, and also, what kind of advantage does it give you?
I'll start with the advantage part. Being able to sit there and watch the game, seeing, what teams do to like, what their coverages are on like Donovan and, guys that Mike, all the guys that are out there, seeing what the team does in those minutes. I really can get a feel for the game while I'm sitting down watching. I'm able to observe, the first, 7-8 minutes of the game. And it makes the game a lot easier when you're coming off the bench, and to be able to make an impact immediately for me, on the sidelines, I'm staying warm. I'm doing something else, just so I could pick up the, whatever it is. So it's no drop when I come in the game, and that's from scoring, defending, or anything. So it gives me that time to, sit down and kind of process the game during that moment. And I would say the process of me kind of accepting that role, it was hard, definitely. I think I was maybe 23, 22, maybe 23. When I think Luke Walton got the job, and he told me that, I was going to come off the bench. And yeah, I kind of took it like, man, like he don't think that I'm good enough. So he's going to play me off the bench. And I got to prove him wrong. Like, I got to get back in the starting lineup and everything. But, like you said, talking to those guys and talking to my teammates, and they just kind of like, I was kind of hard-headed and like, man, yeah, whatever. I'm not listening to you at first. It's definitely a process. And then, you know what? I just said, no, this is who I'm going to be. I'm just going to come in here. I'm going to impact the game with the minutes that's given to me. I'm going to play my role, and, I'm going to do it well. And, I got to learn how to. And then it was a process when I got traded to Cleveland. I needed to learn how to really impact the game in terms of numbers wise, the shots I'm taking, stuff like that. And it was that was like a wake up call as well, because I didn't play well in the finals with Bron during that whole playoff series. I was kind of, out of there mentally, but then I sat down again and, scraped it and went to the drawing board and said, this is how we're going to do it. And, I just want to thank all my coaches that helped me out. Steve Frankowski, T. Lou was big in that, Larry Drew, Drew Hanlon, Chris Johnson this summer. And then a big thing, when I got here, Coach Quinn sitting me down and really showing me that, shots I was taking and, what he expected from me and what he saw in me and, expected out of me. So I just took it. And like you said, it's all been a process, but I really accepted it.
Okay, we have Eric Walden, Salt Lake Tribune next.
Hey, Jordan. First off, congratulations on the award. Can you kind of take us through the TV show tonight? Because obviously it came, Joe was in on the surprise, but you were clearly not. Can you kind of take us through like what you thought you were doing there, what you thought the point of being on the show was going to be, and then kind of your reaction in that moment, when Joe points at you and hands you the trophy?
First, they told me earlier when we was at practice that me and Joe were kind of doing a thing because, it's me and him, being finalists for the Sixth Man of the Year. We're going to go on TNT tonight and talk about it, us being teammates and how that dynamic works and stuff like that. But yeah, Trey kind of set it up because he said he was going to do this kind of earlier. So he's kind of been brewing this a little bit. And then I came here and, I was really speechless. I don't really do well with surprises and stuff like that. My family came, my dad, my mom, my stepmom, my daughter, my girlfriend, my homeboys, my little brother, man. And it was just like, it was like I said, it's just speechless for me just to have this surprise. And, I'm very thankful for everybody around me and really just going to enjoy this moment.
Nio Campbell, UtahJazz.com.
Well, first, congratulations, Six, the nickname really works. But just going back with your family being here, I mean, your entire family's here. The cheering section was going crazy for you last night. How does it feel to be able to celebrate this achievement and milestone with them in person?
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, it's dope. It's definitely amazing. They've been with me through this whole process. As a family, we stuck together, stayed strong. They've been through every moment, really of, my life, my ups and downs. Me being sad, going through, you know, a lot of stuff mentally. You know, they just always been there to, you know, support me, have my back. For them to even, you know, be at the games, watching, supporting, seeing how far, you know, I've came as a man and as a player, as a human. It's just a great feeling. And, you know, I'm going to continue to try to represent and do great things.
All right, we have one more question. This is from Simone Sandri at La Gazzetta dello Sport.
Yes. In your career, did your mental approach change when you started compared to when you were coming off the bench? And also, is there more pressure coming off the bench and obviously being asked to be instant offense?
I mean, the approach had changed. You know, being a starter, knowing that you're gonna get, you know, a bunch of minutes and opportunities to kind of, you know, do what you want. But I feel like I've kind of always been the same player, taking my shots, been aggressive, you know, make plays. You know, that's kind of always been my MO and something that I still do. So in terms of that, I don't feel like I really changed much. But I know, you know, still growing in some areas, but I know when, you know, what I got to do when I step on the floor and how to impact the game. But yeah, I don't feel like not much had changed in terms of mentality of how I play. It's always been aggressive and, you know, trying to make plays and, you know, try to score the ball.
Okay, Mark, would you like to take it on from here?
Thank you, Jordan. Thank you, Greg. I appreciate your participation tonight and for everyone joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. It was an honor to be here and to get to present the award. Jordan, you deserve it, man. You worked hard. You kept a positive mental attitude. I wish you all the best in future success.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you guys. Yeah, have a good one. Peace.